Hi there traders and welcome to the daily recap show for today, which is Wednesday the 7th of December. So these were the zones of reference on the Footsie today. We said that the Footsie was developing into a range and that initial resistance was at 75.67 to 75.75. And we said initial support was at 75.13 to 75.21 with main support at 74.88 to 74.98. So let's go and have a look at the Footsie today. Okay, so you can see here the Footsie opened here and it pushed up and we got a nice reversal off that initial resistance zone at 75.67 to 75.75, and it was right off those overnight highs. And just see, we had the overnight highs at 75.67.6. The high on this was at 75.67.9. It was the smallest liquidity grab. But it was still valid, as we had seen that liquidity grab above that. I'd like to probably see a little bit more of a liquidity grab, but that was still valid. So push up into initial resistance, nice reversal, and that pushed us down into the initial support zone at 75.13 to 75.21. And you can see that also offered a reaction and a reversal from there up into this zone here, which we could have booked our profits on as well. Well, we then came back down, and we were looking therefore to look to main resistance, main support at 74.88 to 74.98. We pushed down. This is a sort of continuation of sorts. We had this impulsive push down, a little bit of corrective, and then a continuation. We hadn't seen the full acceptance below that zone at that point, so it's not necessarily something I would have looked to trade myself. I think it's quite aggressive, but nonetheless, it is still, from a pattern recognition point of view, still valid. We then come down, no reversals in this area for me, and it just front run the zone, so nothing really to do there. And then you can see we just chopped around for most of the rest of the session. We have come down, and in the post-market session, in the US session, we have held this zone as support. But at the moment, I wouldn't be looking to do anything in that area anyway. So for me, the two best trades of the day were in that first hour, really. We had that sell from the initial resistance zone and a buy from the initial support zone. Everything else was just chop and not really super high probability. So that's the Footsie. Now let's go take a look at the Dax. Okay, so these were the zones of reference on the DAX. We said that the DAX was showing a little bit of weakness. However, 14,150 to 14,175 could provide main support. All the time we were below 14,325 to 14,345. We could see lower price action as well. We said we talked about if we could gain acceptance above 14,325 to 345, we could see moves higher as well. So let's go and have a look at the DAX today. Okay, so on the DAX today, we pushed up into this 14,325 to 14,345 zone. You can see we've got a nice reversal of that liquidity grab there. The high on this was at 338, so and then the high of that bar was 340.8. So if you had taken this one, if you had a really tight stop, that may have actually been stopped out for a loss. If you had it above the zone, then this would have worked out quite a nice sort of winning trade down into this zone here. We then got a push up. We saw the acceptance above this zone here, but notice when we got back into the zone on the retest, there was no sustained break. There was no continuation. There was no reversal pattern from this area here to sustain the break. So this was actually ended up with the impulsive push up, impulsive push back down. That ended up being a false break pattern. Below this zone, we were just in chop, and we sort of said that that sort of was reflected in our report that we was only really looking to the 14,150 to 175 area as support. The rest of the day provided chop. We never got down to that 150 to 175 area. We did come up and we did retest this 14,325 to 14,345 area in towards the close of the session, but notice that we didn't get any sort of like real liquidity grabs. We didn't take out any previous highs, and once you've seen that false break pattern, it's always very difficult to look for reversals from there and take advantage of those liquidity grabs. So nothing really in this area here for me. Nothing on my trade plan that would have been valid. So we had a couple of really good opportunities on the Footsie today. This opportunity here on the DAX, which depending on whether you had a tight stop or a wider stop, this would have been a nice winning trade. Other than that, nothing really else too much to do there on the DAX. So I hope you're finding these reports useful. Please let me know how you're getting on. Please let me know what you think of these reports. If you haven't already, please come sign up for the Keyzone service. The link is in the box below on our YouTube channels. We will be making this a subscription-based service in the new year, but at the moment you can still take advantage of these reports being completely free. Come join the Keyzone Traders community. Please let me know how you're finding them and getting on with the reports. I hope they're adding value to trading. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.